Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Had a good weekend. What's up, Rafrag, Rodrigo, Ruben Tuesday, Marcelo on Clay, Medieval Rage. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Give me some likes. Give me some waves. What's up, Gorilla Blanco? Happy to see you, dude. Haven't seen him in a 50 rolling. Noah Mullen, CH46 UEF, WCNT. Guys, what's up? Jibberson Michael. Hey, so today, man, I want to talk about a big topic that I think is relevant to you guys, right? What's up, Ruben Tuesday? Thank you, man. And guys, give me a thumbs up or a number one in the chat. What's up, DCB? Happy to see you, bro. Medieval Rage. Just want to say Neon Shin is really sneaky. Yes. Welcome to the dark side. It is scientific wrestling, man. Science is sneaky, dude. Like drones, that's sneaky. Biowarfare, that's sneaky. I'm just saying, like, when you put science on something, it makes it like uber, makes it super duper. So, okay, what is the biggest problem American men 25 to 44 years old? What is the biggest problem that American men that are 25 to 44 are facing in the economy right now? Throw it up in the chat. I want to hear what your perspective is. That is my key demo in everything I do when I look at all my stuff. What is the biggest problem that American men 25 to 44 are facing in the economy right now? What are you facing, right? Okay, so let's throw that up in the chat because I want to talk about that. Now, today, right, what is the biggest problem in my opinion? It's clearly not going to be just one thing. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. But if I had to pick one, it would be lack of opportunity. Lack of opportunity. Okay? I mean, if you think about it, cost of living is going up. Wages are flat or stagnant. So it's harder than ever for young men to get ahead, right? And it's not just the economy. There are other factors making it hard for young men, right? Like divorce rates high, single fathers are struggling. Gorilla Blanco, Kenny says hypergamy, which is like monogamy, I guess, but everybody humping around, I'm guessing. DCB says they're told not to be masculine. Yeah, that is a problem, right? So what do we do about this, right? Because I want to go, if you guys have something, throw it up in the chat because I think this is an important topic. First, we do have to raise awareness that this is a problem. I mean, dude, with whatever's going on in the economy right now, dudes are getting zero support, right? Unless like you're totally messed up. Like they're not allowed to be traditionally like the things that are defined as masculine. So I think it's important, right? I think there's a lot of people helping young women. That's great. I think there's a lot of people helping, gay people that are in other traditionally discriminated against categories. Fantastic. But I think young men are falling through the cracks here, right? I think, young men are having a hard time. They're feeling lost. They're feeling hopeless, struggling to find jobs to pay a living wage, right? What else? Affordable housing, especially if you live in a city. That ain't easy. Fair? Ryu Ken out on YouTube is saying resources. What do you mean by resources in general? Because that's just so general. Stress, anxiety, a toll on physical health, mental peace of mind, right? So what do we need to do? Do we need to figure out how to create more jobs? Do we need to figure out how to make housing affordable? Do we need, like groups for guys to be able to join and work things out? Resources that way, right? So I don't think like blaming or, the patriarchy, dude, that ain't going to help solve this problem. Look, we've got young men need help for real, right? So I'm curious, okay? Today, I say we dig into the economy because Honestly, income is going to solve a lot of these problems. Standard of living. Okay. So we need to like figure this out, right? American men that are 25, 44, what is it that you need? Or when, if you know somebody this age, what is it that they need to make it to the next level? Right? I mean, dude, let's talk about like inflation. Last year, it was at an all-time high, 9.1% inflation, meaning the stuff you're buying is more expensive, but they didn't give you a 9.1% raise, right? This is a problem. This is a big problem. But what can we do about inflation? I think the traditional thing, and I think you got to maybe consider this, is you have to outwork it, and you have to, they say work hard. I mean, work smart, not hard. I think you're going to have to do both. I think you're going to have to work smart and hard, right? Medieval Rage says a lot of us need happiness. Okay, but where is happiness the goal, or is happiness a byproduct of achieving goals? Is it like happiness? I really firmly believe is part of self-respect. You will be happy if you have self-respect. But respect, whether it's self-respect or respect of another person, is earned. You've got to actually do those things, follow through, not be a flake, work hard, proof, right? Okay, so the crazy thing is that we did add, like, supposedly, now you can never really tell if this is true or not, but supposedly in January of 2023, just a couple months ago, we had added almost 500,000 new jobs. Okay. So the problem is how do we make sure that men are getting jobs, these young men that are disaffected, having a hard time, getting jobs that actually could maybe even support a family? How crazy is that? That is like a luxury item now, to be able to support a family, when just a couple generations ago, a single income could support, right? So what is a lot of that? What do you think is causing that? I mean, unfortunately, I think a lot of it is bureaucracy and bull, and we've just allowed it to happen. You've got to push back. Taxes are your biggest expense. If you're having a hard time and you can't afford a family, like you can on your salary, can't afford to keep your wife at home so she can help with the kids if you want, or maybe it's your wife works and you stay at home, but to be a single income earner family, it's almost impossible these days, especially for young people. So you've got to start figuring out, how can I avoid legally paying this crazy tax? That's your biggest expense. Over 40% of your income is going to taxes. Grappler Nick says, get catch wrestling from Hawaii. Thanks, dude. Let's go, man. Bring us out there. Hit me in the DMs. We'll come out. We got a bunch of great clinicians that can come out and help you guys. I'd love to talk to you, Grappler Nick. Do that, please. Plus, who could be Hawaii, dude? We'd be out there in a second. Reza Javahari, hello, Iranian. Hey, what's up, man? We got Iran in the house. So, guys, I talk a lot to people about business and about physicality, right? I'm here to help you. I think that these are the two things that you need to focus on in your life. Medieval Rage says, I just started Uber Eats for an extra stream of income. You got to do what you got to do, bro. You've got to do it. I love it, though. We do live in this amazing time where you can have these like Uber gigs where you can add them all up and start making some real money. But the problem you guys got to start thinking about, okay, if there's 9% inflation, 40% of your income is taxed, what do we do about that? We've got to start thinking about, how can I start making enough money where, even though they're taking my money through inflation, because inflation is a form of theft, and I hate to break it to you, so is taxation. So what can you do despite that? You've got to start leveraging your contacts. You got to start studying business. You got to start figuring out the nitty gritty of how to make money. And that's marketing and sales first and foremost. How many of you guys have what you consider, let's put it this way. On a scale of 1 to 10, throw this up in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no knowledge, 10 being I am an expert, what is your level of expertise when it comes to sales and marketing? Let's throw that in the chat. Okay. So Ken out on YouTube says, by resources, he means obtain more assets. Yes, sir. That is the key. But how are you going to obtain these assets? One is you do have to increase your income so you can actually afford the down. Then second, you need to understand how, let's say one of the assets is real estate. We only need 20% down. So I could start controlling $1 million property with only 20%, $200,000 down. Now that's cash flowing. Now I've got, let's say it's $1 million property, nowhere in a highly populated area, but let's say $1 million property, it's a quadplex somewhere in Arkansas or right someplace podunk. How do you get there? How do you get, you got to get the income up so that the bank will say, hey man, we will give you this $1 million and you're going to need 200,000. So you're going to have to get your income up to save the $200,000. Maybe go to friends and family, pool the money together as investors. Then you're going to have a salary high enough. Your W-2 is going to have to be reviewed by the bank that you can afford the payment on $1 million. Does that make sense? Okay, so we've got Kenny says that his acumen on sales and marketing on a scale 1 to 10 is 3. Ryu Ken says a 1. Kenny says we're all heading into the metaverse soon enough. Maybe. I mean, I think we took a pit stop at an AI for a while. I think some of the metaverse stuff, it's like blockchain. I think the time will come, and I think the people that are involved in it now eventually will benefit massively from VR, blockchain. But right now, AI is where it's at. Everybody's blowing up. So, okay, who else has got some sort of vote, man? Come on, get some guts out there, right? Who else? Just scrolling through the chat here. Okay, so here's the deal. You need to learn sales and marketing. Okay, that is what generates revenue. Now, the crazy thing you have to understand, and I have been involved in this for over 20 years, is that technology is changing so fast. I'll give you an example. I use a platform for scientific wrestling. I love using that as an example. If you go over to scientificwrestling.com, that is actually a software platform that I've been using since 2005. The company started in 2003. I've been using this platform since 2005, 18 years. Back then, it was one of the only ways that you could put up a pay gate for people to access content. The platform was called MemberGate. Okay. So I have been on this platform for a long time, and it updates and whatnot. And I paid a lot of money to have it updated. But the fact is the world is changing so much now. I am going to eventually have to abandon that platform. And to do so, I am having to learn all of this new stuff, man. Like, okay, I'm building out and developing my own marketing platform, right? Trying to make what I think is the best thing out there. Okay, it's called revenueengineering.ai. I've got some incredible partners. It's just unreal. To me, what revenue engineering is going to be is a marketing platform that is coupled with sales coaching. Because the remember, marketing is what creates the leads. That doesn't mean they've paid you money yet. Before people give you money for your product, you've got to advertise. People have to know about your product. Does it make sense? That's marketing. How do I bring my product to the market? Generally speaking, I think the best way to think about it is marketing is how do I generate and capture lead information, Sales then is that secondary follow-up where now I've got marketing delivering me leads. Now I've got to call or message or email or whatever and get them to buy. Two-part process. Sometimes it can be integrated, especially like you guys will see with internet marketing. There's like fancy websites and it captures the lead, starts marketing to you. You get enough information. You're like, shoot, I got to do this. And you buy, right? That's all automated. But you can traditionally people have to learn what all that is before you can put it into automation. Well, that's what revenueengineering.ai is going to be doing. It's going to do it all. So when you used to, so let me just rattle this off. Before, for scientific wrestling, this is everything I had to do. I'll tell you right now. Okay. You could go reproduce this. It's very expensive. First thing I had to do was I had to do branding. I had to come up with what is the name? What is the feel? What is the vibe? What are the values? What is the mission? What is the vision? What is scientific wrestling? That's one example, right? I have No1 coaching. I have revenue engineering. My wife and I have Gate Master technology. I did this with numerous clients, other companies like Reverse Market Insight, all these other businesses. But that's the first step. And that is a part of marketing is branding. Okay. Now, once I have the market, what am I going to sell? This is going to be, what are my ideas for product or services? Okay. Unfortunately, this is where most entrepreneurs, those 9 out of 10 small business owners that fail in the first 10 years, that's where they stop. They get really focused on product development and service development. They end up having the greatest widget or the greatest service ever, but nobody knows about it and they go broke, right? The number one reason why businesses go out of business, small business go out of business is because they are undercapitalized. It means they don't have enough money. Okay. I don't like that undercapitalized because it makes it sound like you got to go get a loan. Dude, you're just going to end up in bankruptcy because you can't pay the loan if you don't make revenue, right? So revenue is the most important thing. What brings in revenue? Sales and marketing. Revenue engineering is sales and marketing with AI. Does that make sense? That's what I'm developing. So what you'll do is you'll sign up with revenueengineering.ai. We will build it out. So for example, scientific wrestling, I had MemberGate, which cost me thousands of dollars to build out a website that I could put content behind a gate. That's what I still use today, but everything's being moved over and ported. Then I had to get Aweber, MailChimp, or ActiveCampaign as my email automation, right? Does this make sense? So that can be as much as between $150 and $300 a month. Okay. Then I had to have Calendly to make appointments. That's not a lot, but maybe $10 a month. Had to have ClickFunnels, which builds all these funnels and landing pages to get people in, right? It's a sales funnel, like a funnel, like you have a top of offer that's broad, maybe free, brings people in, and then you upsell them on your higher end products. What else? Sendable or Sprout Social or Hootsuite, these social media managers. SMS messaging costs more money. I mean, this thing, I've got it all in one now, and they're all integrated. So like I can run reports and see, and it's not all these separate hodgepodge things. And where that used to cost me well over $1,000 a month, I got this to where it can help you with all of it. Automations, blogs, SEO, all of this platform from anywhere from 100 a month to up to 300, 400 a month, depending on what you want. Okay. So guys, this is what you have to do. You have to listen. I know that young men are suffering, 25 to 44-year-olds. I know it. I know it because I talk to a lot of you guys. And I know it because I could see when there's slumps in my sales. You guys are my key demographic. Right now, nobody's buying anything because all their credit cards are maxed out. Nobody can get more credit. The interest rates are high. Their income is low. Inflation is high. So they're spending all their money on eggs or whatever is blowing up your budget. You've got to start learning sales and marketing. Okay. Now, I get this a lot. I get this so much. A lot of people come to me wanting to start their own business. And I tell them very soberly, 1 out of 10 businesses succeed. 1 out of 10. This is a competition. When's the last time you beat 9 other people at something? Think about how much effort you had to put into it. Something that was substantial and competitive. It's tough, just like wrestling, right? If you want to be a champ, dude, you got to eat, sleep, breathe that goal. Well, this is the same thing with business. And I'm telling you, the number one thing, if you do decide to get into your own business as an entrepreneur, I've done it for 30 years, so I speak from experience here. And again, 30 years I've been an entrepreneur, when in 10 years, a third of that time, 9 out of 10 fail. And I've done this multiple times. These companies are all running to this day. Not even counting things that I've done that are outside of business, really, like the fitness mace movement. That is just blown up. At large, the catch as catch can and wrestling in martial arts movement. But regardless, the thing is it is very tough to be an entrepreneur. You really have to grind, and you have to be self-motivated. Okay. So here's the thing. If you're a flake, if you're a hedonist, if you are big on talk and small on walk, it ain't going to work, dude. You've got to grind for real. Like, it's what you do all day, and it ain't 9 to 5. It's like 5 to 9, honestly. So sales and marketing, guess what? You don't have to open your own business to get into it. You can. Well, you could do one thing like an MLM. I know a lot of you guys look down your nose. You don't know what you're talking about. You can make a lot of money if you find the right MLM. And there are great companies out there that are multi-level marketing companies. You automatically have a product. You don't have to worry about anything the entrepreneur has to worry about except sales and marketing. If you're just a sales guy or a marketing person or both, you do business development, dude, you don't have to worry about taxes, payroll, HR, product development. You don't have any of that stuff. Support, servicing. You just have to go out there and meet as many people as you can and convince them of the value of what you're doing. Okay. So now you could do MLM. I mean, I think one of the best ones out there. I've been a client for well over 20 years is Legal Shield. The legal insurance company used to be known as Prepaid Legal. Love that, dude. It's such a great product. Go out and sell it, but you got to work. You got to go pick up the phone. You got to talk to people, go meet new people, show up at networking events, like hustle. Okay. That's one. It could be, my wife does doTERRA. I think they send her like $1,000 every month because she set it up years ago. She's the CEO of a software company, dude. But hey, $1,000, man. It's cool. Right. There's a million of these MLMs. I would really recommend that you find one that you like. Kangen water is another one I like. It's a high ticket item. I think it's $300-$400. You could go work for Rainbow Vacuums. I know some people that are in that organization make a lot of money selling a high end $3,000, $4,000 vacuum, literally door to door. You could get into solar sales. Think of all the people who come to your door. That could be you. You could. The thing is if I get a 10% commission on $100,000 deal, I just made $10,000. That's more than a lot of you guys are making. All I got to do is close one deal, right? Sales and marketing. So you don't have to start a business, guys. You just got to get out there and start schlepping. You got to start busting your hump. All right. So I'm going to leave this open to questions for maybe 5 minutes. I got so much to do today, but I wanted to make myself available to you guys to help you guys out. Again, we're getting for those of you interested in the scientific wrestling thing, we are getting right now firmed up the fall 2023 schedule. We are going to be, man, where are we going to be? Let me look. I'll look at this and tell you right now. I mean, it's awesome, dude. Right now we got 8 stops: Denver, Windsor, Canada, which is right by Detroit. So you can come over if you're in the Detroit area. Denver, Windsor / Detroit, Phoenix, Nebraska, the southern Nebraska, northern Colorado, Norman, Oklahoma, Orlando, Florida, Lake Charles, Louisiana, or Houston. We're trying to figure that one out. And then as ever, Pinion Hills in California, Southern California, in the Mojave, right? So I'm getting all that booked up for you guys. And you really need to consider looking at our affiliate program. This is another thing I've tried. I know a lot of you guys follow me because of, I'm probably best known from wrestling and then secondary the Mace. But, you know, honestly, I'm like, oh, what's up, Carmen? Punchy face. He says, saw the schedule. Looks great. Yeah, dude, it's going to be a killer season. So, you know, but I'm really a business guy. Medieval Rage says, do you ever come to Northern California? You know, we've tried. I lived in the Bay Area, Berkeley, and San Francisco, in the city proper for years. You know, I don't know how to say this. I don't want to get anybody butthurt. But there's just not a lot of good wrestling up there. San Jose, the university had a good wrestling room. But I mean, dude, the rest of it, and everybody is so like biased and like, I don't know how else to say it, kind of cultish or myopic or narrow-minded about the jiu-jitsu thing. I would love to get up there. We tried to break into Sacramento, set up a thing, promoted, not a single person came. We do really well in the Sunbelt states, but in the North, like, the other thing is weird is like, I can look, we're almost at 50,000 followers on Instagram alone. And I get insights, right, onto, that's in fact why I brought up the 25 to 44. That's our key demo on Instagram. So I wanted to address it, right? But, you know, the thing is that New York is our number one viewer, and we have never, ever been invited out there. So they're like voyeurs. I don't understand why they're all looking at us. Obviously, we kill it in the West, the Southwest, and the Southeast. We're everywhere. But it's that Sunbelt. I don't understand why we're so strong in the Sunbelt and not up north. But I'm hoping to change that. If you want to help me, I'd love that. Hit me up in the DMs and maybe we can get out there. Let's see. The Mind of HB. Good judo, too. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I'm sorry, I was too late. And I'm missing a comment here. Let me get to it. Emperor Charlemagne, what's up, dude? Says, wow, I'll 100% be at the Canada camp. So stoked to hear you're coming up. Who will you bring with you? Right now, I think it's going to be me and Sam Cresin, world's deadliest artist. Although, depends if Harry Smith is in Canada. I might see if he could come by. I'm not sure yet, but we're firming things up right now. What I would really love, Emperor Charlemagne, is if you could drum up interest so that it becomes a repeat thing. Like the reason we didn't go to Northern California is because we tried and got burned. Nobody actually started to show, right? So Emperor Charlemagne says, oh my God, yes. Awesome. Guys, you need to check out the Scientific Wrestler affiliate program if you want an opportunity to make money. I was telling you all these other things where you could join in and make money, these affiliate programs. The Scientific Wrestling affiliate program is legit. Okay, go look at it. I am trying to toy with ways to make it more accessible. As I've said, dude, we do a tiered thing. The more popular it gets, the more expensive it gets, right? Ryu Ken says, do I have a link for revenue engineering AI yet? Not yet. I'm almost there. I'm building out the marketing for that as well right now. I got the back end with all the automations, the AI, all that kind of stuff. If you follow some of my other social media, you could see some of the cool AI stuff that I've been doing. But yeah, I'm just now hoping in the next 2 weeks to have that up and running. And what I really would like to do is to get you guys to do revenue engineering for your business, whatever product or service you're selling, to get the leads and then follow up with the number one sales coaching that is largely powered by the number one sales and marketing programming out there, Grant Cardone. So I want to take those marketing automations and have you also take the coaching courses. The problem is in the coaching, because it is one-on-one and it is with me, I will be hiring coaches, but for now it is me. it's a little more expensive, and it's usually best for people who have companies with 10 to 50 employees at least. That's kind of the minimum entry is you got to have 10 to 50 employees. So, but the revenue engineering part, again, I told you the price points, it's going to be totally accessible, right? Medieval Rage says, how has Scientific Wrestling ever had a Catch Wrestling with a Gi series? No, never will. Maybe, I don't know. The thing is about the way we operate is we operate the old way. We don't have a top-down approach. We ask each camp, okay, listen, if we're going to do like a super fight or something, both sides can negotiate the terms. The only thing is if it's going to be called a catch-as-catch-can match, it does have to have pinning. It does have to have pinning and submissions. The Mind of HP. You would think that the Midwest would be a good region for you. Yeah, I'm not sure why our marketing has not penetrated there. I'm going to figure that out because that's the next step. I'm going to be honest. Part of it might be because I don't like going where it's cold. So I do market a little more to the Sun Belt. But yeah, we should have a stronger presence, especially in these strong wrestling states. That'll change. We're like I said, we have an affiliate now in Oklahoma. He was a 2-time Oklahoma State high school wrestling champ. So we're getting some studs. That will slowly change. Hopefully, like I said, you guys get in before the rate increases because right now we're at, I think we're at 13 affiliates. When we hit 15, and I've actually got 2 in the pipeline right now. They haven't closed, so this might be you too. It just depends how quick you pull the trigger. Right now, it's $10,000, and that's it. You get the whole shebang. So I've made this case the other day. If you're paying $300 a month for some other affiliate, and it's in perpetuity, it never ends, right? To be an affiliate, always got to pay dude. You could get it financed for $225 a month and be done in 2.5 years, and then you own it as an asset forever. Okay, that $10,000 deal is going up to $15,000, and then after I hit my sales target for those affiliates at 15,000, then it will go to the $350 a month ongoing. Okay, I'm thinking the first 25, between the 15 and 25 will be that 10 will be able to get in for $14,997. Right now you can get in for $9,997. And the thing is, I actually broke that down. So yeah, I got funding sources. If you got good credit, I can get you the loan, and you can do payments like $250 or $300 a month. We have affiliates doing that. Or you can do where we carry the financing. If you have so credit, $24.95 down and $225 a month until you've paid off the agreement, which is a great deal, right? Bijlani says, any plans to expand to London? We do, in fact. Yeah. That is one of the affiliates that we're in talks with right now. It's a little difficult because of the international. We're trying to figure out how to make sure that we maintain the high quality standard of teaching. But yeah, it's about time England started getting some real wrestling, right? You guys are like non-existent on the wrestling map. So we'll get you guys back there. We have brought Wade out many, many times, Wade Chalice. Of course, brought Billy Robinson back to help you guys out. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So Ryu says, cool. Thanks. No worries, brother. I'll keep you posted. Emperor Charlemagne says, I have a random question. In those old Billy Robinson YouTube videos, Sam used to demo with another strong guy. I forget his name. Ricky. He was a black guy. Do you still in touch with him? Is he still grappling? Yeah, Ricky Lazaro. Great guy. He was part of the old first wave crew, right? Which that first wave is like Luis, Sam, Jesse, and Ricky. They were the first wave of guys. Ricky's the guy in the Wade Chalice Pinisher DVD, which is pinning for MMA and grappling, the very first DVD like that. I mean, that's what we do, man. We innovate and we plant flags and we change the whole complexion of things. Ricky is great, was doing fantastic, got involved with law enforcement, and like my brother's a retired Las Vegas Metro Police guy, and when he's in the academy and stuff, it just got all consuming, and he kind of disappeared. I mean, nothing on bad terms or nothing, but he just was consumed with the law enforcement stuff. And unfortunately, during a high-speed chase, he got T-boned in a car and jacked up his back. So we are trying to coax him back, trying to figure out what's going on with the police department and stuff, and getting him compensated. He is always welcome back. He is family. Yeah, Ricky Lazaro, total stud. I still message him all the time, but I think he's going through a little bit. I'm trying to get him back, but it's so cool that you mentioned him. I'll try to let him know that people are asking for him. Maybe you'll help bring him out of the stands and onto the stage again. The mind of HB. I wish that the boys in Wigan would do their thing in England. Okay, so here's the thing. I am very glad that they're doing what they're doing. I think the World Championships that Roy and Andrea Wood are doing are fantastic. Here's the thing, man. The only guy in the 20th century, the late 20th century, that had a chance at a gold medal, from what I hear of most of the old timers, was Billy Robinson, and he decided to make money instead. The rest, it's just, Great Britain is notorious for having very poor wrestling in the Olympics. I know before Billy and I went over and kind of inspired people, including Andrea and Roy, to start pushing catch can. I know Roy was coaching for the British Olympic team, but it just wasn't doing it. Like, they weren't showing up anywhere. So I don't know if the guys in Wigan are the guys to do it. I don't know who is. I think that we need, if England is going to get on par, there's a couple things that need to happen. I mean, right now, the power players on the international scene in wrestling, it hasn't changed. It's the Eastern Bloc countries, Dagestan, Russia, right? Eastern European, Eastern Bloc countries, the United States, right? Kyle Dake, like all these guys, right? Jordan Burroughs, and like Iran. Though that's the power triumvirate in wrestling. And, I think a lot of it is because of the culture. They start them young in each one of those three places, but there's no high school wrestling programs or junior high school programs in England. And I think that's a problem. United States, man, there's a lot of wrestling opportunity for these young guys. That's why what you guys don't understand is that the reason why wrestlers dominate when they come into your McDojo, your jiu-jitsu McDojo, and smoke everybody, and they don't even have a white belt, they have to borrow one, is because by the time, if they had a high school career, they come in having done probably a minimum of 50 matches a year, competition matches, and 5 days a week of practice. Your McDojo people, man, your BJJ retail martial arts guys are getting 2 days, 3 days a week, maybe. And then the hardcore guys are maybe jumping in. But then the problem is the training is kind of sloppy. You go into a collegiate wrestling gym, dude, and look at the program, dude. These guys are some of the university coaches are some of the highest paid coaches, or the highest paid employees that the government has. These college coaches, they're serious, dude. It's not like a little strip mall thing. So that's what I'm trying to bring, actually, to retail martial arts with the Scientific Wrestler Affiliate Program, is this ability to bring in wrestling at a high level. But you got to raise your standards, man. That's the thing. Like, it's just how it is. I know I don't want to offend anybody, okay? But it's just how it is. Bijlani says, 100%. I train with one of Makayev's old wrestling coaches from Dagestan. That's how you're going to do it, dude. You got to get in. You got to do it. Got to get in the room. If you want money, you got to get in the room with money. You want wrestling skill, you got to get in the room with wrestling skill. That's it. That's why I sought out Billy Robinson, Wade Schaus. I sought out the very best guys because I want to do that. Now, I got nerfed. God was like, dude, we let you do that. You can be too powerful. You can be a genius and a ninja. You can't do that. So he nerfs me with cancer and a freaking collapsed carotid artery and all that shit. But I still got in the room. I still want to learn it because I'm obsessed with it. Now I want to be the best coach that I possibly can be, whether it's business or grappling. So I get in the room with the greatest coaches of all time. Does that make sense? Emperor Charlemagne talking about Ricky says, oh, that's sorry to hear that. He was great for sure. What about the British guy with blonde hair in the other Robinson videos? The British guy with blonde hair. I don't know who you're talking about. It's just probably me having a senior moment. Sorry. High Yield Health says, any advice on learning wrestling as an adult? I'm not a complete novice. I'm a BJJ blue belt, but I'm no spring chicken either. Moving to Iowa from Florida. You go join, go find a club, a wrestling club. That's your number one thing, dude. The challenge is that there is a subtlety, and this is why I don't think freestyle or folk style adapts directly to MMA. I think you need, okay, so there's two things that happen that scientific wrestling does. If you're a guy like you, High Yield Health, that is a grappler but with no wrestling, right? We're going to teach you how to wrestle, but conscious of submissions. So one of the problems, right? Every time I post something about wrestling, all the BJJ insecure guys, oh yeah, well I tapped a guy. Okay, because he didn't know what you were doing. That doesn't last, dude. The second he figures out not to change his level and not get guillotined, those days are over for you. And now you're going to be hammered because they got superior takedowns, controls, top pressure, and now they're going to learn these simple submissions, dude. You're dead. Okay, because it's going to take you longer to learn all that other stuff than it takes them to learn the submission and the submission defense. So that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on, is getting your average grappler who doesn't have wrestling up to speed quick. Okay, that we kill it. We crush it with that. The other thing that we specialize and we kill it and crush it with is taking your folk style freestyle wrestler and adding in like plugins on your web browser, the scientific wrestling tricks, so you don't get submitted, so you don't do these things, because there are parts, because of the subtle changes in rules, that it changes how the outcomes are. So we're not huge on changing level. If you're great at changing level, I'm not going to take that out. Like, right, if you got a killer sweep single or double leg or whatever, I'm not going to change that. I'll show you what to do to not get caught, or our coaches will. Okay. But if you're that blue belt guy who sucks, and the other thing is there's different styles for different body types. When I learned wrestling, I started in Pee-wees when I was like 5. I'm going to be 50. So we're talking 45 years I've been dicking around with this stuff, like seriously thinking about it and being in the right rooms. But my first coaches when I was a young man, I never really liked wrestling, even though I did it. I just was like, I'm never going to be great, because my coach coached for a short, squatty body type. I'm a long, lanky guy. Short guys have a lower center of gravity. They have more power. They have more speed. Tall, lanky guys have more reach, have more leverage. It can do a lot more with leg riding and leg wrestling and things like that. So I didn't really get that until I got into my 20s. Then I got into my 20s. I was like, oh, I always was thinking from an athlete perspective and not the coach. And all of a sudden it opened things up for me, if that makes any sense. So my point, High Yield Health, is if you're going to Iowa, dude, you're going to Mecca for wrestling in America. There's a couple places like Pennsylvania, Iowa, Oklahoma, these like Mecca, Nebraska's another good one, like these great states, right? Like parts of New York, like New Jersey. There's really great wrestling in that area, but it's folk style. So take what you learn, find a club. But here's the other thing. When you go to Iowa, because you're a jiu-jitsu guy, 9 times out of 10, the jiu-jitsu will have wrestling now, because you're actually, these guys are sick of getting smoked, or these guys who were wrestlers in Iowa, maybe they didn't make it to college, but they were in high school and they were killers. Well, they go to the jiu-jitsu club because they're like you. They want to get adult grappling going on because they enjoy it. Bijlani says, India has really good wrestling scene as well. Yeah, India is pretty good. Unfortunately, corruption and lack of funds don't allow our athletes. Again, I'm telling you guys, it's about money, and you guys got to stop blaming the government and all this stuff. Like I said, dude, yeah, I know inflation's bad. I know taxation's bad. I know corruption's bad. So what? So what? You freaking complaining about it ain't going to put money in your pocket. Ain't going to buy your kid a computer. Ain't going to buy him a new bike. Ain't going to pay the rent. You got to just get out there and grind. Forget all that shit. The Mind of HB, correct on the wrestling powerhouses. Yeah, thanks, bud. James Roy Pelletier. What a coincidence. I'm watching that art of catch as we speak. Okay, that's cool. Harry Balsanya. Why is it that only very few high schools offer wrestling? I don't know where you live, buddy, but in the United States, a lot of them do. But yeah, it is. It can be regionally dependent. Colorado had high school wrestling, and in fact, the high school I went to, Pomona, has probably arguably the greatest wrestling legacy. I was very lucky in that regard, although the cancer kind of nerfed me and took me out of that, but had a very powerful wrestling legacy. But then, I went to University of Colorado. They didn't even have any wrestling. Not even any college wrestling. Sucked. Okay. Because that's when I started getting healed up. And I was like, dude, I'll walk on. I'll do my best. I think I can hang. But it's just, you got to get in, man. You got to get in. Let's see. Wyatt C. Long. What state do you coach at? I'm in Colorado. Again, I'm not coaching at any schools or anything. I've done that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm too busy with my other stuff, but I do have a passion for this sport, and I'm trying to engage and enable people to do this. I do from time to time coach at a couple MMA gyms that are local here in Colorado. One is V10. They're actually our affiliate. They're our first American affiliate gym out in Aurora in the Field House, if you know where the Aurora Mall is in Colorado. Another one is Genesis MMA, which is a top 5 MMA gym in the world. Genesis MMA in Arvada. They're very close to me, actually. Fantastic place. Bijlani. Coach, what makes a gym a good gym? How would a complete beginner be able to distinguish a good gym from a McDojo, especially in countries where wrestling may not be popular? Okay, so what is your goal? What is it that you're trying to do? That is going to determine whether it's a good gym or not. Do you just want to go and when I say McDojo, I'm not meaning, I know it's maybe a pejorative or an insult, and I'm sorry, I don't necessarily mean it that way. But, there are a lot of these gyms where people just go in and they treat it like couples yoga, right? Like you're just sitting there and you're flowing and sweaty and that's all. And they show up and they leave and it's fine. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I call that a gym wrestler. I was a long time gym wrestler just because of my injuries. I wasn't up to it. It just would jack me up. I had serious risk, but I did enjoy wrestling in the gym and I tapped some pretty impressive guys in the gym. Okay. But that said, if that's your goal, then you could go to one of these just strip mall places and it'd probably be fine for you. Do you want to make a name? Do you want to be famous? Do you want to be legendary? Do you want to be a champion? Now that's a different goal than being a gym wrestler. If you want to be the top of the top elite, you've got to go find a school where those guys are hanging, right? So we have one of our affiliate gyms down in Phoenix, Black Flag. Dude, those guys have they're an affiliate. So they've got I can't even count how many trophies and gold medals they have. That if you want to compete, that would be a gym you go to. Same with V10. V10's an MMA gym. They don't really care. They want to get you booked on shows. They want you out fighting, building a record, right? So we, as Scientific Wrestling, has really been geared towards combat sport and not martial art. That's it. There's a big difference. You need to understand. Combat sport is not martial art. Martial art is not combat sport. There's a little crossover, and the language gets loose when you say MMA, but it's really a combat sport, okay, where winning is what we're trying to do. So that is, I hope that helps you. I don't know if that helps. Medieval Rage. Do you think grip training plays a good part? 100%. It's why I invented the mace, the steel mace, right? The mace bell. That dude, especially so for me, I was always a lanky wrestler. So I had reach. So I could get the hand fight and my grip, dude, this is somewhere I was like, oh, everybody talks about Danny Hodge's grip. Let me see what happens. And I worked my grip, dude. I had those Popeye forearms. I got a hold of you, man. I'd have some guys actually crying for me grabbing their wrist and the crunching that I could do if I got right between the bone and where the actual wrist is and stuff. I could squeeze. Dude, grip strength is a massive advantage, honestly. Mazen Mahmood, I really love your videos. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that, man. I've been working my ass off for years, but I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. The Mind of HP. I noticed that from what I've seen, you'll see snatch singles and low singles, but that's about the most shooting and catch. Yeah, because the problem is with catch, there are so many like gravits, chokes, cross faces. It's more, to me, the way that I learned catch was a hybrid. What Billy Robinson and Carl Gotch had was hybrid. It was a combination of high-level Greco from the 50s and 60s, that technique, and catch as catch can. So their entries, and this is why I think they did so well with MMA, why they launched MMA, while guys like Henderson, Couture, Lindland, all those guys, that first wave of wrestlers that came in with Greco, because the stance is like boxing. It's an upright stance. You're not crouching down low where you're going to get a knee like Ben Askren, right? So this level changing with submissions and strikes is a problem, and it gets solved by not doing the level change, which is one of the things in the phases of wrestling that USA Wrestling teaches. Well, that's great for that rule set where there's no chokes or kicks to the head. Does that make sense? Or cross, gravits and that kind of thing. High-heeled health. Awesome. Thanks for the info. Already been using the mace, kettlebells, and sandbags. Yeah, cool, dude. Harry Balsania. Live in Connecticut. I don't hear many high schools offering wrestling. Football tracker. Oh, yeah, that's weird. I don't know Connecticut that well. But I bet you if you put in Connecticut high school wrestling in Google, you'd find something. I got to jump off here. How to increase my strength for wrestling? Wrestling. Join a hard wrestling club. That's the best way. The Mind of HB. Hank's Hypes. Yeah, Hank is when you basically do the water bird. What is it? Oichigari or whatever in judo. I hate all this Japanese bullshit. But you go in between the legs. The hype is on the outside. It looks more like a hip toss. Very similar move. It's just, where do you kick your leg? All right, guys. Listen, I do got to jump. I appreciate you all. Hit me up if I could be of any service to you. You can hit me in the DMs. You guys got to take charge. You got to, if you want to get better, you got to get with people and do whatever it takes to learn. I wanted to learn how to get really good at sales. Dude, I invested a crap ton with Grant Cardone. It was a lot of money, right? But hey, it's got a return on investment. So this is what you have to start thinking about. Stop thinking about price. Stop thinking cheap. That's not how rich people think. It's not. Start thinking about return on your investment. If I throw this money down, am I going to get money back? Is it going to be worth it? We got Emperor Charlemagne. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, dude, of course. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you again. Hit me in the DMs or email me, no1coaching.com, scientificwrestling.com pretty soon, revenueengineering.ai for the marketing. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.